going to share my screen, and I'm going to start off with running through exactly what we're going to be doing over the space of the next 4 weeks, because I've got to be honest that what I'm proposing doing here and what I'm trying to set up is ambitious, to say the least, because to take you from not knowing anything about AdWords to being able to place all of your own ads and stand on your own in effectively about 4 hours. That's a big call to do that. So let's show you what we're going to go through and understand the process, because this process is going to last for 4 weeks. And at the end of 4 weeks, I'm going to bring the next 6 in. But when I bring the next 6 in, I'm going to put all of you into a separate Telegram group. So you'll all be able to communicate with each other about the stuff that you've already learned. And obviously, I'll chip in and help wherever I can. So this is what we're going to cover in the space of these next 4 weeks. We're going to talk about keyword research. We're going to talk about keyword segmentation. We're going to talk about targeting and how important targeting is. And I've learned some really valuable lessons this week about targeting that potentially could save us a huge amount of money. And we're going to talk about writing ads and copywriting. And guys, let me tell you, that last one, writing ads and copywriting, my favorite subject. I absolutely love it. But the thick end of 20 years in doing it, I'm still learning. So,
Roger, you're joking, really. That is not something I've ever picked up on.
What?
The fact that you love copywriting.
Absolutely loved it.
Sorry.
I really, you know, but I'm still learning every single day with this. You know, I mean, I thoroughly, I mean, you obviously guessed that I thoroughly enjoy writing, and I do lots and lots of it. It's a fabulous way to communicate. But you've got to be able to do it right. So I'm going to give you the best I can when it comes to that. Here's what I'm also going to give you. And Simon mentioned this earlier on today, and I misled you slightly. I am going to give you my initial set of keywords. So I'm going to give you a starting point with keywords, because my first keyword research, I went into Google and put my first ideas in. I came up with 6,800, I think it was, keywords, and then had to whittle them down. So I'm going to give you my original keyword tool. I'm going to give you my ad creation tool, my Google ad creation tool. That makes creating the ads much, much easier. I'm also going to give you my list of all my favorite resources. Most of those resources are centered around copywriting, and the majority of them are free. I'll give you the name of a couple of books that I would strongly advise you to get, but we're not going to talk about that one tonight. So this is what we're going to do and how we're going to go through it. We're going to look at my campaigns. So you're going to get to look in my back office. That means you'll get to see my ads. You'll get to see the keywords that I'm using. You'll also get to see my results. So you'll get to see how much I'm spending, how many views I'm getting, how many clicks I'm getting, and what my click-through ratio is. So this is really sort of bearing all and letting you know everything as far as this is concerned.
Yeah.
We'll look at some other campaigns. We won't be able to look because I can't get that much depth in someone else's campaign, but we will be able to look at other campaigns. And we're also going to dissect the ads that you guys create for yourself. And between us together, we will tweak them and we'll improve them and we'll make them work better for you so that you all understand what we're doing. So some of this will involve jumping backwards and forwards, because you can't just do it all just in sort of a straight line. Because when you talk about keywords, some of your keywords are going to relate to your headlines. So we're touching into copywriting. So we are going to jump backwards and forwards all over the place, but I'm going to put it in as logical a process as I can to do it for you. And yes, there is a lot of trial and error involved in it, but I really, truly believe that it will completely explode your business the way it goes. I've already signed up my first distributor from Google Ads a couple of days ago. How well she's going to do, I really don't know. How much she understands, I really don't know, because despite my targeting and despite the fact that I expected her to come from either North America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK, or Ireland, those are the countries I targeted. She came from Nepal. So there's a lesson that we're all going to learn about targeting. So let's get started with the basic one today. So today's subject is keyword research. And this is the most important thing that you'll ever learn about Google Ads. Google Ads is different from Facebook advertising. It's different from most of the other advertising platforms that are out there, because Google Ads is all about keywords. If you get your keywords right, then you will have a good campaign that doesn't have to cost you a lot of money and will get good hits. If you get it wrong, if you've got the wrong keywords, Google penalizes you, and they penalize you the only way they know best. They charge you more money. Yeah. So we've got to make sure that they're not penalizing you that way. Now, when it comes to keyword research, that should have come up a little bit later, but when it comes to keyword research, there literally are thousands and thousands of websites that sell keyword research tools. I actually Googled yesterday, just to sort of refresh my memory, how many websites there are that sell information on Google keyword tools. And as of yesterday, the number was 280,000 websites around the world that pitch that for you. Some of them are very, very good. Some of them are absolute dross. But for the moment, because we're first getting started, until you're actually making money, stick with Google's own keyword tool. It's not the absolute best, but it is really, really good. And here's the thing: Google they've worked on it and refined it constantly over the 16 years that I've been running Google Ads, and they constantly update it. And they have to constantly update it because that keyword tool gets people to spend more money with them. So we're going to go into that, and it's in your Google Ads back office. So you need to start off with a core set of keywords. And these are the core keywords. You should make a note on all of these. These are obvious ones for us, but the core keywords, that anything that we're going to advertise got to relate to network marketing, MLM, Forex trading, crypto or cryptocurrency. You can chuck crypto trading in there. Now, each individual ad doesn't have to relate to all of those things, but it must relate to at least one of those things for it to be meaningful for you guys. So we're going to show you how we can actually take some of those things and we're going to make it work the best we can. So every campaign needs to start with a core of 10 keywords that you're going to put into the Google AdWords tool. Okay, so what we're going to do right now to actually get things going, and so you're actually seeing it rather than me just waffling on, is we're going to do it for real. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen in a second, and I'm going to show you where we get started.
Roger,
but to do it, yes.
Can you just ask really quickly, are we going to get a recording of this or not?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. These recordings they'll go to anyone who actually appears on the call. And I'm sorry, guys, I do have to be, I want everyone to get the maximum out of this. This is the one call that I say, you need to follow this course.
Yeah.
Turn up on the call, you won't get the video. And the videos you won't just be able to find them because they'll be hidden on Google. I'll make sure that they're unlisted on YouTube. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you need to watch it, but I promise you it's worthwhile. This isn't me just, I've kept this down to half a dozen of you because this is not me about an ego trip. This is about trying to help you and make things work for you. Yeah. Cool. So you will get a copy of this. And one thing I will say, just exactly what you've just done, Simon, this is a question answer thing all along the way. Okay. If you have anything that you want to know as you're going along, stop me. Yeah. Right? Don't just be quiet and think, I'll ask another time. Stop now, because you might think of something that someone else is thinking of and not saying or whatever. So stop me. Cool. So we're not actually going to start with Google for the keyword tool. because that's not our real point of our real starting point. We're going to start with what is IML, and that's why it's important that every one of you had your own what is IML system. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop sharing my screen for the moment, and I'm going to instead change over to Google Chrome.
Roger, as the what is IML one, has it got an app?
Yeah.
It does have an app.
Okay.
And the app has different functions to what you see on the screen on your website.
Okay.
Now, for the sake of what we're going to do tonight, you need to be going on the website.
We had this
conversation. Simon, we were talking. Sorry.
We had this conversation today.
Exactly that. We were talking before, and we were talking about the website being different. You need to go in through the website to see the information you're going to see right now. So if you haven't got the login, if you've only been going in through the app, then to log in, you can't just go to whatisiml.com and get in. You need to go to this link up here. It's whatisiml.com/module/responder/accounts/login. They made it nice and easy for us. Yeah, so it's there, you can see it, and you'll see it again when you look at the video. So don't worry too much about it if you haven't got it right now. And I will post it into the Ad Academy group so that you've all got it in there as well. So once you get there, you've got to log in. Now, if you haven't been logging into this site, I will tell you that when you log in, it logs you out for non-activity after about 5 minutes. So if you start doing different things and jumping all over the place, you have to keep logging in and out of this. I can't find any way of keeping myself logged in for half an hour or for an hour. So once I've logged in, then you're going to see this back end, and you can actually see just here, you can see the leads that have been coming through from the advertising. So that shows that those are working. And there's a distinction in that number from what you will see, because in a minute you're going to look in my Google ads and campaign, and you'll see how many click-throughs I get. That's a smaller number than my clicks, because there are people who are going to click to your page and just decide it's not for them, and then they're not going to go any further. So those are people that every one of those people that's in there, I've got their name, address, and telephone number to follow them up. But what we want to look at right now, for the sake of getting started with keywords, is we want to look at the lead pages. So we're going to scroll down here and come across here to my marketing pages. We're going to scroll down to lead capture. Now, we've got on here a ton of different pages. I'm going to minimize this for a second. We've got a ton of different pages that we can see here. And if you're watching this, if any of this is obscured by all of our faces, just minimize them so you can see the full page. So the first one that you automatically go to by default is this one, the complete IML funnel. But there are a ton of different ones. I started advertising that first of all, and I got some traffic going through to it, but it wasn't an awful lot and it wasn't exciting. The webinar funnel, an extension on the same thing. This one, the female entrepreneur movement, you're going to see in my ads in a minute that this one has done great for me. I liked the look of the page when I saw it, and what I did like is that this one targets women particularly, because I've commented over the last 20 months that I've been with Kuvera and now onto here, and I've been talking to Simon and commented on we seem to have more women coming into the business than men. 30 years ago when I came into this business, it was 90% men and 5% women. It was quite unusual to see a woman in it. But right now, it's all about women. So this has been very, very good for me. So what you want to do is click the page that you want, and then you want to look at all this text. And what I would do is copy this text and paste it into Notepad, so you've got all this. Because some of the keywords that you're going to target are here on this page. So that said, I'm going to open another window here for me for the moment. You probably can't see this. I'm just going to open Notepad, and I'm going to copy this information, because this ad is my starting point for my keywords. So we've got keywords that I can see in here that we can use is Forex, Forex education, female entrepreneur movements. That's a good one. Work from home opportunity is another good one.
Just really quickly there, when you said female entrepreneur movement, would that go in as one keyword or?
Well, yes, and I'll put female entrepreneur and female entrepreneur movement.
Okay.
And I'll use the two, and I'll tell you why in a second. Most people, when they put their Google keywords in, generally tend to go with one-word answers. They'll go with Forex, crypto, whatever it may be. And they'll get some hits from it. They'll get some traffic from it. But they're the ones that they'll pay plenty for. But we're going to find some keywords. Using these, we're going to find some keywords that will actually give us better quality keywords. And the more words that you use in it, the single word keywords are just simple keywords. The longer keywords, the ones that are 2-3 words, are known as long tail keywords.
Okay.
Long tail keywords are generally better scoring and cost less. So that's why they're going to be important. So I'm going to take viral out because that's not a keyword. Company helping to pioneer the female entrepreneur movement. I would go with the whole line about that.
Okay.
Because it might throw something surprising up. So we've also got in there, we've got work from home opportunity, and we've got legitimate work from home opportunity. Legitimate work from home opportunity is a really, really good keyword. That will get you some lift as well, because people do type in things like legitimate jobs. Yeah. So
good. What are we doing on this? Because all I can see is like your screen, and that's it. Nothing else, nothing moving or anything or happening.
You can. In fact, let's stop this for a second, and let me see if I reshare this.
On my computer as well, it's really small. I can't copy and paste that. It won't blow the picture up.
Well, just because you're seeing it as a full image. So let's just share the screen. Right. Okay. So can you see, what can you see now? Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see your notepad now.
I see my notepad, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the words that I've picked out of there. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So 5 keywords. I'm looking for 10 words that we're going to use as core keywords. Yeah. So give me some suggestions. Let's have some suggestions from you guys now. If you were going to go, and let's have Merrily and Daughter. Let's have you two give us suggestions. Let's have a woman's point of view. If you were looking for a business on the internet, what would you type for a woman, from a woman's point of view, as looking for a job or looking for a business product?
Well, time freedom.
Time freedom. Okay. I'll put time freedom in. Merrily?
I think if I was going to do it, I would go to those things that you've got up there.
Okay, is there anything else that you can think would particularly relate to a woman?
Financial security.
Extra income.
Extra income was a good one.
I'm hearing women in business.
Women in business. I would tend to put in work from home mum.
Yeah.
Yeah. More time.
And I would put, this one's important, I would put work from home mum, and I would also put work from home mom. Because that's going to get you a different response in the States.
Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, than it is from here. So, how many have we got now? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Right, we've got 11. Daughter, for the sake of it, I'm going to take time freedom out because I think that means more to us because of the benefits of this. But I don't think that people who are actually looking for something and don't know about this industry, I don't think they're likely to type that in the first instance.
No,
But
okay.
there's a starter for us, yeah? So we've got 10. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into Google Ads. So I told you get to see my back office. So this is running from in the last fortnight, yeah? And you can see my ad spend for the last fortnight. It's been a whopping 25 quid. But for 25 quid, I've had 158 clicks on my website. Now, if I split the campaigns, I look here, I can actually see that I had 2 campaigns running. So I'm going to take I just want to see campaigns there. Come on, move. Google's on a go slow. Right. So if we look down here, look at the difference when I targeted women. When I targeted everybody with what is IML, in total, it's been running for a week longer, I've actually had 752 people look at the ad or been shown the ad. And let's move that out of the way. Out of all those people, only 40 people have actually clicked it. But when I targeted women, Google showed the ad to more people. They showed it to 2,363 people and 118 people clicked it. And you can see that my click-through ratio is very similar, 5.32%, 4.99%. From an advertising campaign, I asked Simon Brooks when I first started advertising what he thought would be a good conversion ratio at this point.
5%.
It's curious to see. He said 0.5%. I said he was on drugs, but he said 0.5%. He thought that was, but he's not used to this form of advertising. Typically, people who use Google AdWords will tell you 2.5 to 3%. That's a good response. So running at 5 to 5.25%, that's a very good response. But the most important thing is here, and it's the cost per click. Because what I'm going to show you now is how much these things can cost if you get it wrong. So we're going to click up here to the tools section. And when you click on the tools, we're going to go to the keyword planner. Now, like I said, Google's keyword planner is not the best one out there. It's not the best tool for digging out the best keywords for you, but it's a very good starting point. And one thing that Google has that Facebook doesn't have, Instagram, all the others don't have, it has incredibly good metrics on how many people search the terms that you're going to put in. So we're going to click on here and we're going to put in discover new keywords. Now, enter the products or services closely related to your business. So we want to start off with that list that we just created. So,
Roger, could you just go back? What did you do? You went into tools and then what?
tools and then keyword planner. This word here. Let's go back a page.
Yeah. Keyword.
So we went tools there.
Are we doing this now, Roger, or going to pick it up off the video?
I wouldn't do yours there. I want you to watch this. You
Okay.
do yours separately afterwards. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I want you guys to actually see this because I know my way through this. Otherwise, this is going to be a bit like Monday night's Forex session, and you'll be sort of going away with your heads cabbage. Yeah. So in here, I've just copied and pasted. I've copied all those words that we just put together. So there's 10 of them, and you can see here it says you've pasted the limit of 10 keywords to get ideas. Okay. So once I've pasted that, all that I need to do now is scroll down. It says here, enter a domain to use as a filter. This is interesting. If you find a website that you think really closely relates to the target customers that you have, you can put that domain in there and it will search for all the keywords that drive traffic to them. Now, I tried it with IML and it was rubbish. And I tried it with what is IML and it was rubbish. Because they're not really marketers themselves and they're not really marketing that website, because all they're really doing is providing the website for us. So it's down to us to do that. But if you find maybe baby pips might be interesting to put in there or something like that to see how it gets hits up for people that are interested in Forex. So that could be something interesting. But right now, once I clicked that search now, it's actually going to search all of those keywords that I got, and it's going to tell you how many times keywords related to that were found in the last 12 months. So there you can see the statistics. The blue columns are the total number of searches in any given month, and the red one are how many people were actually viewing on mobile. And that tells you an important story as well, and that is that how stuff looks on your websites and how well it scans and reads on mobile is hugely important, because more people are using mobile these days to search than using their laptops or their desktops. So at that point, I now click here and I click download keyword ideas. They actually have, they'll provide all the keywords down here underneath, so you can just scroll down and look through them. But I'm going to show you a trick that will make life much, much easier for you. So it's going to download this as a CSV file. Now that will open in Outlook. It's CSV, comma separated values, but it'll open in Excel rather. If you don't have Excel, the same thing will also open on Google Sheets, so you can open it in there too. Let's maximize this. And here's what we've got. So it gives you keyword stats between the, oops, deleted it, right. It's for a year anyway. So it's from 2019, that's the date that it was in, that we did the search, and it's from the 1st of August 2018 through to the 31st of July 2019, so 12 months of searches. Now, and it will break it all down here month by month, but to be honest with you, we don't need any of that information. So that information I'm just going to delete, because I want to keep this as simple as we can. In fact, these columns as well. So let's delete this. Right. A couple of things I'm going to do. How familiar are you guys with Excel?
With what, Roger?
Excel.
I'm
Microsoft
familiar
Excel.
with it. Yeah.
Is anyone not familiar with it?
Yeah, I'm not that great with it. Not really
Okay,
used it much.
right.
So
Right, well, there are some things then that I'll point out as we're going along that I do that makes life easier for me as I'm going through this. So, I'm going to drag that out of my way. So, the first thing I want to look at here, if I highlight that, if I put my cursor there and I click on there, I can highlight that entire row. If I come across, I click on view and then freeze panes, I can freeze that top row. Now what that means is I can now sort this information any way I want, and that top row will always stay where it is. So I can sort these other things into different ways. So what I want to do first of all is I want to make this wider so I can see this entire keyword. And I want to see.
You can just double click and then it will spread it out.
Say it again.
You can just double click on the column and then it will just spread it out. Now I sit here and
No, it's not.
in the
Double-click
line, in the line.
on the line.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. There we go. We all learn something new every day then.
Yeah.
Right. I'm actually gonna make this a little bit easier. So I'm gonna wrap this text anyway. So what I do here is just go to here. I'm gonna wrap text. So we'll make those a bit narrower. Right. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to scroll right down to the end of this right now because I want to see how many keywords I've actually got. In fact, I'm better using this over here to get down quicker because I know that we've got 2,000 and something keywords.
Controlled end and then you will be in the bottom.
There we go. So I have, my top one isn't a keyword. So I've actually got 2,179 keywords. So rename this base list 2078. Oops. Now, I'll tell you now, looking at this 2078, the keywords that we've used are not fabulous because at 2078, I'm going to whittle these away to nothing. And what I'm looking for, ideally, I want to finish with about 200. Yeah. So I'm going to fall short with this, but it's going to give us an idea to get started with. So we're going to get started. What I want to do right now is I want to sort these because I'm going to start deleting keywords. Yeah. So what I want to do now is I'm going to create a fresh sheet here. And in this sheet, if I click in the top corner, I can select everything and I can copy and paste this entire list again. Now this list is going to be different. I'm keeping that original one, so I've got the original list for data, and you can see step by step how we're deleting these away. So let's just freeze that top row. And now I'm going to start off by searching by price. So if I click this selects this column, and I want this is the price that it will cost me to go on the top of the page, but it's the low range. You can see here, the word extra income will cost anywhere between 37 pence and £2.04 to end up on the top of the page. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to whittle down prices. So I'm going to start by expanding the selection, and I'm going to sort by top of range, low race, and I want to sort it smallest to largest. And now we can see the prices that we're playing with.
Yeah,
now,
cool.
if you looked in my back office, you saw that I was actually paying, the most I was paying for clicks was 17 pence per click. I'd actually put in 15 pence as my top price on my main list that I started off with. Looking at this, that would only give me less than 120 to start off with. So I'm going to assume that I'm going to pay more than that. I'm going to go as high as 20 pence. Beyond 20 pence, I'll tell you now, we're getting into the realms of paying too much for clicks. So we've whittled this down rapidly. So let's take that right down. And let's just do this quickly. So all these keywords here are too expensive for me. So they're gone. So now anything that's in here, we can now afford to click on. So now let's look. The next thing I want to search by, sorry, I need to, so this is sort one by price. And now I'm going to open another sheet. So I'm going to copy this list this time. And I'm going to put that in there. I'm not copied. Okay, so this time what I want to do is, some of these have very, very low traffic. And the ones that have got low traffic, there's no point me wasting my money on a keyword that's actually only going to get, like this one, 10 searches a month. I'm wasting my money with that, yeah? So let's rule those out now. So down to sort, expand selection, and I'm going to sort by average number of searches, smallest to largest. Let's look. Tons and tons of keywords here that really have virtually no traffic going to them. Wow. See, on the original list that I started with, and this is the list that I'm going to give you guys to work with, I must have had 2,000 that had 1,000 hits or more. At the moment, if I take that out, then I've just whittled that. I've just left us down with something like a dozen. So I'm not going to delete all of those for the sake of it. But this is what I would search by. I would search these out and I would delete these. Certainly these that have got 10 clicks a month, there's no point in that at all. If they've got, let's not say 1,000, let's say if they've got 500 or more, 480 or more, still even with just a few there. This really poor set of keywords, this one. Okay. All right. Bear with me with what I say, that this should be higher. I'm going to give you a list, and in fact, I'll open the list in a second and show you a list that has much bigger numbers than this. But the next thing, once I've sorted by those and deleted those, is I want to delete this. This one is really important to delete, because when I sort this one out, this one tells me which keywords I'm going up against that have a lot of competition. And I sorted that the wrong way. I want to sort these highest to the smallest. So this one, looking for jobs to do at home. There's a few reasons why I wouldn't use that as a keyword. First of all, it says jobs. Yeah. And to my mind, the people that type jobs in are not looking for a business. They don't want to pay to get started or anything else. So I delete those anyway. Yeah. So anything that has the word job in it, then it looks like most of these. Yeah. That one looks a good one. Extra income opportunities. I can live with that. But look at that. It's got a low cost of 14p. It could cost you as much as £1 to actually bid on that. But look at that. 78% competition. So it's got really, really high competition against it.
It's only hitting 10 at average as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just shockingly bad.
Yeah.
So I'm going to open a different list. Let's look at one that I've already got open, shall we? And I've already researched. So let's look at that one. This was my keyword for female entrepreneurs. And I started with 3,130 keywords. No, 1,303 keywords. First of all, I sorted them by price, and I took it down to 1,110 keywords. Then I sorted it by monthly searches. Look at this for searches. Look at the search volumes there. Nothing on this list, and I've still got 450 keywords to look for here, but absolutely none of them gets less than, I think I did this on 500. Yeah, so nothing got less than 550 searches per month. But when you're looking at the top of the list, the biggest hits, then it was a huge number, 90-odd thousand hits a month.
How many keywords do you need in, Roger? Is there a certain amount you need in, did you say?
Yeah, yes, there is.
Yeah.
I would say, in a perfect world, I would want at least 60.
Yeah.
I'd really be aiming for 200 to be working with to whittle them down.
Okay.
And that first list that I'm also going to give you, that initial list that I started with, I started off with 6,800. I got it down to 200, well, just short of 200, that were all valid keywords for us. So look at this one now at the bottom. Now it's got the word jobs in it. So, well, in fact, I hadn't done that search on it. So the next one, I then started searching by competition. So what I did was I looked at the competition scores, and I wanted to make sure that I took out all the ones that had high competition scores away from me. When I took out the high competition scores, I was actually left with a list where nothing had more than 39%. And that bottom one there, how to earn money as a student, potentially you could get for as little as 2p. The most it could ever cost you is 56p. It's getting 2,400 searches a month. Yeah. How to make money on Facebook, nearly 10,000 searches a month, anywhere between 3p up to £1.35 per search. Again, 36%. But my top keywords up here, the ones with zero competition, work from home, from work to home. Now, that might not make sense to you, but if that doesn't make sense to you, on average, 880 people a month type that into Google. And if you're the only person that's got that as a keyword, you're going to go at the top of that list. And you're going to go at the top of that list for 2p with no competition. So if some of these things don't make sense, they don't have to make sense to you, because this is the real world. This is Google's precise data that says in the last 12 months, that's what's happened every month. 880 people have said that. You know, every month. Work to home. 22,000 people typed in work to home. What that is, I really don't know. And here's my final analysis, my final results. This is when I then took out the silly ones that made no sense to me. So the things like the one that you were just saying just then, daughter, which was Line Smart Cloud, that doesn't make anything else. Real ways to earn money online, but spelt like that. I took all of those out. So what I did was I ended up with a bunch of keywords that have low competitions and have low prices, nothing more than 15p, but have decent volume of traffic going through it. And I ended up with 70 keywords there. And those were my 10 that I started with for that particular campaign. So when we typed in those words before, those were the 10 words that I put in to actually get me to this list.
Wow.
Okay. But whittling 3,103 keywords down to a matter of, I actually used those 10 original keywords in my final list. Yeah. So I whittled it down to 79 in total, because that one's not a blind. So 79 keywords in total. And when I whittled it down to 79 keywords in total, then we actually saw, if I click back out of that now, out of that keyword tool, and you can actually see that's what getting me all those hits in a very short space of time for 20 quid. Got me 130 people to actually go and look at my website for 20 quid. So that's keyword research in as simple a manner as I can put it. It doesn't have to be overly complicated, and too many people do complicate these things. Yeah. Start off with a simple core list. And what you do to get your first list is pick your page. Now, we now have half a dozen of us here who are all going to be advertising, plus me. Yeah. So here's what I would do. I've done that page. Yeah. You have on here a ton of other pages to choose from. Pick a different page. There's nothing wrong with you doing that same page, incidentally. If you actually use the same keywords as me, then all that's going to happen is we're going to be in competition with each other. And because we've got the same landing page, it's only going to go to whoever pays the most money. And eventually, I promise you, you'll end up getting the traffic, because I won't play when it comes to paying too much money for it. So I'll just choose a different one. So there's nothing wrong with you using the same page and using different keywords and seeing if you can actually refine it better and come up with something. And you might get that from talking to friends and saying, well, what would you put if you were looking, if you saw that page, what would you put if you were looking for something like that? But look at this, because there are tons and tons of different ones. So this one, 5 trillion up for day for grabs, purely just Forex. This doesn't mention network marketing or entrepreneurs, it's purely Forex, yeah? Or the crypto mining ones. I'd leave the Spanish ones out for obvious reasons. But crypto so safe and easy. There's not a lot on the crypto safe and easy one that you can actually pick up from. This one, I quite like. And I haven't done this yet. I started to research it this morning, but I've just had too many things. But for the page, I think that's a good looking page. And I think there's enough on there for you to actually pull an advertisement together, particularly when you start clicking through the questions, because if you go through this, there's a series of questions. Keeps it quite interactive as well. But you just click on all of these. By the time people have clicked through these, I'll guarantee you they're going to put their name and email address at the end of it. So I think that one's quite a good one. Now, this is where I said these conversations will vary all over the place. When I started to research this one, I went to look into the email funnels in the back office. And I went to look at the emails that they send out for part of the normal email sequences. How many of you have looked at these? I've shown this once on a Sunday how to, but how many have been in here?
No.
No.
Okay, right. If you click in here, you can see the message campaigns, and you can see exactly what the messages are that you send out. Yeah. And for me, if this is going to be coming from me personally, then I want to read it and I want to know and I want to change it and personalize it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't great. They really weren't great. The IML series, the original one that you actually get, your messages that will go out has 3 messages over 5 days. And the message essentially says, on day 1, they get the email that says, have a look at my website and let me know what you think. And on day 3, it says, have you looked yet? And on day 5, it says, have you looked yet? And then it stops.
Okay.
And the crypto series, on day 1, it says, have a look at this. And on day 3, it says, have you looked yet? Day 6, day 9, day 11, have you looked yet? There are no call to actions. There's nothing. So mine now has 7 steps in it. And my 7 steps in it, my 7 steps have got calls to action. My 7 steps give people reasons to look at it. So mine says, you know, you want to look at it. How do you want experts working on your behalf at your fingertips? How to become a successful entrepreneur in your first step. I suppose it's time I told you the whole story. If you get an email that comes through 3 days after you've been looking at something like this, and then someone says, I suppose I better tell you everything, you're going to take a look, aren't you? You're going to want to know what I've been holding out on. By now, by day 4, they haven't taken action. So say, are you really sure you want to make some extra money? And now I'm going to get a little bit shirty with them. By this one, time's running out. I'm not going to write to you all forever. I'm not going to stay in touch. You know, if you're not don't want to do it, fair enough. And on day 7, I just turn around and say, okay, if you don't want to do it, fair enough, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. But everyone has a really strong call to action because I'm a nice guy.
But Roger, can I
Yes.
ask you something?
Yes.
This is only you can write to them if they have typed in their email and phone number. Then you need to have them in your phone book after this, or what?
You don't, because you can actually send messages straight from here, and you can actually send messages straight from the app. If they put their details into this system, then when you go on the app, if you click into the app itself, let's have a quick peek. There are 2 sets of leads that appear in the app. So as you look on the app at the bottom you have app contacts and you have site leads. So all the ones that came through from the Google advertising campaign will all go into site leads. So I have 33 leads in the last couple of weeks that have gone in there, 25 in the last week. Yeah. And I look in site leads and I have all of their details. So I can actually send them a message straight from my phone if I want to, or I can do it from in here. If I want to do it from in here, click on here, and I can go for This was message campaigns. This is the autoresponder, but I can also send a broadcast, a one-off message to everybody that's on the list. And I actually did that the other day. I just select all these different people. That's one where I can just want to touch base with everyone. I actually did it the other day when we had Brandon on the call. I sent everybody an extra message that said I'd got Brandon on the call. So I could just send a different blitz out. So you can do all of those different things. Now, here's what I will also do for you. I think these messages are really important. So once I've rewritten these messages, it then just became a question of email settings. I've rewritten two major campaigns that they have in there. I've rewritten the crypto campaign, and I've rewritten the IML series. I'm going to give you a Word file that has every email that I've written. And you can copy and paste them all in there. It has all the right codes in for how to put their first name at the appropriate place. It's already coded. There is only one thing that you'll have to change on every one of them. And on every message, wherever it says, so you'll have to read through each message and see where you put it. But where it says, click here, you have to put your website address in there. Because if I left it as coming through as the way it came originally, you'd just be sending them all to my website. So where you put that in, where it says click here, you put that link in, or whatever your of that link is, yeah? And that way you'll be able to send people directly to your website so they can look at it and sign up. Right? But I'm going to give you that as well.
Great.
So
I have a question. What is the psychology of blasting out 7 days in a row versus one every other day?
I got this from a guy called Dan Kennedy. And I don't know if you've heard of Dan Kennedy.
I have.
Yeah,
I have.
Yeah. Dan Kennedy is, in my mind, and in the mind of an awful lot of other people as well, the greatest living direct marketer in the world. He's just mind-blowingly good. If you want Dan Kennedy to write an email for you, just an email, yeah, think 15, 20 grand for him to write an email for you. And if you're a big enough company, then chances are he may well actually do it for 10 grand, but then he'd charge you a royalty on every time you send it out. So he'd get a percentage of your profits. And people fight to pay him. If you spend a day, one full day, doing a session like this with Dan Kennedy live, you'd have to fly to the States to do it because he ain't leaving his office or he's not leaving home. You've got to fly to him. You'd end up in a group of maybe a dozen of you, and a seat will cost you 15 grand for a day. And again, when he announces it, people fight over it. Yes, Tez.
Sorry, buddy. I'm just going to have to nip off because I've got that other call.
All right, you'll get the recording of it, mate.
Thanks, mate. Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.
So the thought process, Merrily, when I write my autoresponder sequences, I use Dan Kennedy's rules for how I write them. And Dan Kennedy's rules tell me essentially what the subject is every day. So, for example, I turn around on day 4 and I turn around and say, I suppose I better tell you the truth. Partway through, I tell testimonials because that's what Dan Kennedy does. Then he turns around and says, tell them something new. So I better tell you the whole story. And you just keep them interested. You have to read the sequence, right? You'll understand the sequence when you actually read the messages, when you get them.
Well, so, it's not that I'm doubting your abilities, but you know, Brandon's been using this forever and it seems to work for him.
Oh, no, there's no two ways about it. It does work. It will absolutely work. What I'm trying to do is you can stay with the original bog standard one as it is. Yeah. If you don't
No,
want
I trust you. I mean,
yeah, if you want to stay with the original bog standard one as it is, it will work. It's a question of throwing numbers at it. What I'm trying
yeah.
to do is whittle the numbers down, because here's what I have found. Since I started to tweak and change the emails, take a look at what happened when I change it. If I look at the people that are in this, that's not what I want. I want to look at top scores. Because what happens is, if the questions, if the email just says, take a look, and then they just turn around and you turn around and say, have you looked, have you looked, have you looked? They just ignore it. But because I'm actually sending messages in, this is happening. People are taking a look, and now, because they're getting other messages, they're going back and looking again. Website revisit, website revisit, website revisit, and the scores are going up. These people are more interested than the people at the bottom of the scale who are scoring 9 points, yeah, or 20 points. These that are scoring 40 points, they're the ones that are worth me picking the phone up and talking to these people.
Yeah.
So were you using your own emails this whole time, or were the low scoring ones their emails?
They were their emails.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually,
You know, I'm not doubting you. I just was thinking about that.
yeah. I actually put those 2 updated autoresponder sequences in yesterday, and that's what's happened since I started to do it. Revisit, 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 revisit.
Cool.
Yeah. So this, you know, I've no two ways about it. I think this system is awesome. You know,
Yeah.
for
Well, I do
people
too.
who've never used anything like this in the past, this will blow you away, because this gives you things that you couldn't do. And this was what I was trying to create for Kuvera. I could create this for myself. Child's play for me to create it for myself. But I couldn't create it for all of you guys as well, because I don't have the technical skills to create something that's so duplicatable that you can pass on. So whilst I could do it for me, I'd just be building a one-legged business where I was the one that was going to be doing everything. This gives you all access to it. But what I can do by giving you the sequences as a paste that you're going to copy and paste and put in, I'll give you an advantage over all the others now.
Okay. And ultimately, Roger, looking at, and I know what Marilee said there, breaking it back down to the real grim realities is we are going to replicate this to everybody that we bring in.
That's the idea. And that's what we want that's what we want to do. Because if we can create something that we can duplicate throughout our teams,
yeah,
then we just have something that we can say to someone, look, all you need to do is come in, you pay $225 to get started, you need this system for $40, we're going to place some ads, the ads are going to cost you maybe 15, 20 quid a week. That's what it's costing me at the moment, 15 to 20 pounds a week. But you're going to start signing people up because I'm already in profit on that campaign there.
Well, I think as time goes on, we're going to find more new ways, and like you said,
Of course we will. And the fact is that these people that are revisiting right now, some of these people are going to sign up as well. So that campaign that I've got that I'm already in profit in will become more profitable, because some of these people will still be getting stuff through a week from now. And then I've still got them that I'll send them occasional blasts out whenever I have something that I think is viable to send out, to send to absolutely everybody.
Yeah.
I'll still, you know, maybe once a month I'll be sending a mass one out to a bigger and bigger and bigger list.
Yeah.
I think one of the things too, and I think you can do text blast too, can't you?
You can. There's a restriction on the text blasts. If you click on the texts, you can only send 100 messages and I've already sent 89 out of 100. Yeah. If you send 100 messages, once you've done that, or that might be 89 I've got left actually.
So that is that a month?
Yeah. After that, you pay more for them.
Does it not renew?
It does renew. Yeah. It's 100 a month.
Yeah.
But what I've done is I've actually set my messages up so that when they first get their first contact, they get a text from me. But I don't send them any more texts after that. They've got my telephone number, and every email has that. And I will tell you right now, as you go into this system, if you scroll down to the bottom, look at resources and training. And I think it comes under marketing tips. Okay.
I tell you, there is so much in this that it is almost mind-boggling.
Yep. So a couple of things that I thought were interesting. First and foremost, online business cards. So they teach a business card system similar to the one that we did. They've got their design's different, that's all. But the principle is the same. And all that you do is with your business cards, instead of sending people to profit from your mobile, you would send people to this system. So when your next business cards need renewing, just send them to this. Yeah. This is interesting. How to use Facebook Messenger bots. That, I think, is a huge leap forward for us again, if we can actually get our heads around messenger bots. Because messenger bots, here's the thing. How often do you open your email these days?
Every day.
A couple of days.
Every couple of days, every day. Simon?
Yeah,
Every day.
you only read the headlines
Okay. How many times a day?
once.
Yeah.
Many
10 years ago or 5 years ago, how often did you open your email?
Oh,
10 times a day.
doesn't, yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. Email usage is falling. And how many times do you open Messenger, WhatsApp, Telegram?
Oh, can't even tell. Loads.
You just can't get away from it, can you?
No.
I mean, we mostly communicate between ourselves these days. We mostly communicate on Telegram because we've transitioned over to that, although we still get lots of messages on WhatsApp. And Simon Brooks can't get his head around Telegram at all. He just prefers WhatsApp. So, and as I say that, he's just sent me a WhatsApp. Yeah, just wait, I'm busy. So, he's just sent me a WhatsApp. Yeah, Merrily, if Merrily wants to contact me, 9 times out of 10, she sends me a message on Messenger. I was looking into Messenger bots, and I was looking in North America. Virtually everyone uses Messenger. They don't use WhatsApp, so it's not you, Merrily. It's us. Yeah?
Well, I didn't even know about WhatsApp until Simon got all over it.
Yeah. In Europe, WhatsApp is the number one. In China, it's called WeChat. Yeah. It's a completely different system. So I'm still sending me messages.
What does he want?
He wants to know how the training's going.
I'm going to jump off. I've got birthday food.
All right. Okay. Oh, happy birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Here's 53. Oh,
Old man.
Really?
oh thanks, Merrily.
53. Is that all?
Yeah. Oh, Roger, I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Cheers, guys.
So, guys, messenger bots. Messenger bots are absolutely awesome. But if you click on here and you click on how to learn more about it, then the guy that does the training for this system, and his name is Joe Dickinson, he will start messaging you virtually every day to buy a $97 course on how to set them all up.
You know, Roger, I bought a little program probably 6 or 8 months ago about bots from somebody that I've followed for a long time. If you want to take a look at that, I can send it over to you.
Okay, I've actually got, yeah, by all means, but I've actually got, let's take a quick peek in here. See, Bot Academy. So I was actually,
Right, the quick one.
yeah,
Them text messages,
yeah,
because it comes up normally, it looks like it's coming off my phone.
yeah,
International texts, are they included then, or?
yes,
Right,
yeah, but only 100.
right.
100 a month, yeah.
Well, if you had a big list, you could go through 100 in no time.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why my messenger or bots are going to be more important. But I think we've got to walk before we can run. I'm working on the messenger bots right now. I'm working
Cool.
on trying to define or design the right flows for it. Not many people have managed to master messenger bots for network marketing. Eric Worre has, but he's not telling people how to do it. But,
Go figure.
yeah, but we'll come on to that eventually. For the moment, this is stuff we can get on with right now. So I'm going to wrap up now, guys, because we've been going on for longer than I expected to. So let's just click over to this, and I'm going to click back to PowerPoint to finish this off. So that's the wrong one. So we've gone through keywords anyway, and I've gone through all of that. We're not starting with that. Next week, what we're going to cover next week is I'm going to go through targeting, and I'm going to go through everything that you need to know about how we're actually going to target the right section of people. Bear in mind what I said about me paying for leads coming from North America, Australia, and like in English Europe, as far as I'm concerned. That's what I was paying for, and yet
And Poland.
about 3/4 of the traffic that I was sending, that I was actually paying for, was going to Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, places where I can't really communicate with people. And when I got on the phone with Google, I ended up getting annoyed, to be honest with you, because I turned around and said, I don't think I should pay for this because that's not what I wanted. And Google said, tough. However, I did find out how to make sure that you guys don't do it. So I've paid for the lesson. I'll make sure that you don't have to waste your money doing that. So there is some very important stuff on that. So here's what we're going to do right now. I want to close this down. I'm going to put a number of files into this group. I'm going to put keywords, the keyword searches that we did tonight. I'll put that in, which wasn't a great set of keywords. I'll put in my main list that I first started with, which was my network marketing list, and that's 7,000 keywords. And you can see the breakdown sheet by sheet, because you'll see the top prices. Some of those were like 30 quid per click with some of them, but I got them right down to 15 pence per click or less. Yeah. So I'm going to put those in, and I'll put that into the group for you as well. I will also put a Word document with those autoresponder tools. Now, those autoresponders, you go into each one. As you go into the advertising campaign, you'll see the message, and you'll see a little pen icon. The pen icon means you can edit it. Click on that, delete the message, and I've got the subject lines in there for you, and I've got all the text. All you need to do is wherever it says, click here to visit my website, you need to replace it with your link for your website. And that's it. That's going to get you started. What I want you to do during the week now is I want you to go into your What is IML back office, and I want you to pick a page that you think has something that you would like to advertise on. So pick one page that you think that's going to be my main focus, whether it's a Forex page, whether it's a crypto page, whether it's the female page, whatever it may be, but pick one that you like the look of it, you like the word. Research some keywords, and you're aiming to try to get as many keywords that fit the criteria of being under 15 pence per click, under 30% competitions or under a 30 competition score, and ideally has at least more than 500 clicks per month searching it. You need those three things to be right. Then look at the keywords and then eliminate things like things that say looking for jobs, or some people will type in searches that say looking for jobs with nothing to pay. Take out the ones that are just going to be rubbish for you. And you'll see by seeing how I've done it in my other sheets, you'll see how I've broken them down, and you can see which ones I've deleted to actually do that. And obviously, as ever, if you've got questions, you know where I am. All right, guys?
Could I have one?
Thank you.
I have
Yeah,
one
Doctor.
question, Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there any one of you who have seen that you have been drawn twice for the payment of the $40 US? Because in the same day they draw the same amount twice, and I've been written to them, but they just sent me back a statement where I can see that they only have one payment from me on my bank statement. I can see they have taken it twice.
With what is IML?
Yeah.
Haven't checked.
No, but perhaps you should do that.
Okay. I haven't checked, so yeah, absolutely. I think all of us should.
Yeah. I
Okay.
called my bank, and probably I need to cancel my card and have another card. I don't know, but they don't respond to me afterwards. I've written to them again. So
Have you contacted them through the support desk in the back?
I just emailed them.
You've emailed them.
Yeah.
If you contact them using the support ticket in the back office, they're usually very prompt.
Okay.
They
I'll
usually,
try that again.
when I say prompt, within 24 hours.
Yeah.
But I always seem to get a response within 24 hours.
Yeah, okay. I'll try and...
Simon, did you have a question then? No?
No.
Okay. Right, guys.
I wonder if maybe they take that out on the first of the month.
I don't see why they should. I don't think they should at all. I mean, if you're going to sign up on the 28th, you're going to be a bit hacked off at paying again on the 21st. On the 1st, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll check my account too.
Yeah.
Good that.
All right, guys. As ever, any questions, you know where I am.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Speak to you
Thank
soon.
you.
Bye.
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 Yes. See you soon. Bye.